On our panel discussion this evening, we welcome the retired Senior Superintendent of Police, Reneto Adams. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Are you keeping well?
I'm exceedingly well. I'm happy, I'm excited, stimulated. Jamaica, good afternoon.
Do you miss being a policeman?
Yes, of course. When you observe what's happening, I would have wished that I was there to assist in dealing with the situation. And ironically for me, what I see happening is not a tough task. You know, what I observe...
What areas you think you would be able to help with?
You find that the criminal elements that we are dealing with at this time are not what you would call bad men. In the days when we had bad men who were really terrible people, they would not have killed children, women, older folks. Matter of fact, even the police, they would have considered their action first before attacking the police.
The police force has gone soft?
Please?
The police force has gone soft?
Yes, of course, and it's deliberately done so by the training and all that. You know, international organizations are dictating how we police. You know, but I would want to make a few observations, and if you need to extrapolate from that, any questions you may. Crime, to include murder, in Jamaica has gone cultural, or has become cultural. It's not an aberration anymore, where one makes a mistake and somebody is killed. A man, you know, goes fighting with another, and a bad blow here or so on. Murder is done now to settle any dispute. There's no consideration, there's no thought as to the final effect it has. So they come and talk out there, like I heard last week on a site I was on during managing my security company. I heard a young man say to another one, because they were discussing about his girlfriend giving him or seeing another man to make it, you know, more contrite for radio or television. And it was simple. All you do, man, that was his recommendation. Get rid of the girl and go throw away. Right? There's not one element of any law that I observe personally that is serving effectively and efficiently as a deterrent to criminal elements and their activities. You find that the government and alternate governments, contrary to what the public may believe, spends a lot of money, many millions, dollars, billions, to manage crime, to make sure that the police force is well equipped, and so on. But the problems we are having, the managers, whether it's in the police force, and I want to point out that it's not all, but many of the elements in the police force and the army, the correctional services, the Ministry of National Security, the judiciary, and many other areas, the managers have failed Jamaica considerably. And for simple reason, they are afraid. And one of the reasons why they are afraid too is the fact that I remember ex-Prime Minister said, it's a risk, not quoting, just generalizing, but the essence is true. It's a risk to give a hungry man your lunch to carry. So our managers, especially the police force, in the army, the Social Development Commission, and all the elements that have responsibility in managing and securing this country as it relates to security, criminal management, and managing crime. They are weak and timid. Many of them, they work only to protect their pensions and their salary. To the extent that they fail to act, they are to go out there, direct, control, manage, support the men and women on the street, motivate them, be there for them, let the elements, police elements and the military elements, men and women on the street, feel comfortable that there is a leader, or our leaders are in support of us. My intelligence and my information, that's not the case in all instances that are taking place now.
Well, the country is talking about the killing of young Miss Jackson in Portmore, Denise Jackson. And they're asking, how can we keep women safe in Jamaica? As a crime fighter with many years of experience, how should we tackle violence against women?
You see, it's not really new, but I call it a phenomenon that has taken over Jamaica over the last couple of years, or many years, where, and what my observation is not connoting or insinuating anything that may have gone wrong by this lady or against this lady. I'm just talking generally. I have younger women in Jamaica who gravitate towards the older men and gravitate towards men who they feel are called rich people. Some of these men send these women to school, provide for them. Some of the best cars are given. Some of the best apartments are afforded them. And all that is good. But there comes a time when women feel that I should have a younger person, a younger man in my life. And to that extent, you come home one evening and you say to that gentleman that you have to move on. What strikes this man is that over the years he has been supporting considerably, in all respect. Take you through university, take you through high school, and now you are leaving for someone who, in his opinion, may not have matched up at all in any way where he is concerned, as it relates to his own personality and so on. And in many instances, they bring revenge upon these women. And they are either paid, they either pay to kill, or they kill themselves. So that's one of the problems that we are having. Of course,
you wouldn't support that at all.
Not at all, not at all. You move on. Any man in Jamaica wants 60 women tonight can find without buying or anything. So I wouldn't recommend myself would indulge in anything. You don't want people
to think that you're victim blaming or
no, not at all. I'm just talking a truism.
How do women, is there anything you could recommend to women to help to keep themselves safe? I mean, some of them say they're being attacked in taxis, attacked walking the street. How can they, is there anything they can do?
It would seem to me that morality, the meaning of morality in my day as a young man, is different now from morality in this day and time. So I would implore them to research what is morality and to introduce and to practice a high degree of morality in their life. I don't want to go back in history, but I remember my first experience with any lady at all was that it took 1 year and 2 months before I knew how above her knee looked. 1 year and 2 months to know how above the knee of that lady looked. Nowadays, it would seem to me if you were to have taken out a lady and 2, 3 days pass, 4 days, let me put some broth on it, 5 days, and you didn't introduce a particular sexual action, you would have been deemed, not all women, you know, I don't want you ladies to have a bad interpretation of what I'm saying. You would be deemed as probably somebody who is a homosexual. And many names are given to you. And then tomorrow you are told that the lady say, well, the man don't have any use, and the man this, and the man that. You cannot do that, ladies. Allow yourselves to be courted. Allow yourselves to be respected. No, every question, every suggestion for the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. No, not at all. We have all the time to have a relationship, a meaningful relationship. Let's return to those days.
All right, let's, if we can take a look at the wider situation of crime. You've told us that you believe it's now part of the culture, crime. Yes. We respond that way. And if we look at the figures, as at March 20 this year, murder is up 7%.
Yes.
Shooting is up 2.5%. But we see that rape is down 48%, robbery is down 16%, break-ins down 30%. What are these figures telling us about the state of crime in Jamaica now?
For me, other than probably murder, the figures do not impress me. I can categorically say to this country tonight that 40% of the crimes are not being reported in Jamaica, with probably the exception of murder. Not being reported. I'm on every site, many are all my sites that I offer security. I see people being chopped, people being shot at, many things is happening. And it's not being reported. When you suggest that the report,
to the police,
yes, because they say don't make sense. All the police do, they say nowadays is to write down paper and give you a notice that you made the report, and nothing else is done. In many instances, a lot of break-ins, they don't report break-ins anymore. They don't report housebreaking anymore. Maybe yes, rape. Right? Wounding, larceny, other thefts are not being reported. And so therefore, the stats that they give us yearly, you can't blame them because that is what is reported to them. Yes. But it is false. It is false. And we cannot plan crime management around these statistics. Yes. Because you are planning that we had, say, you know, how many rapes you did say? When in truth and in fact, it can be multiplied by 2. So because the problem, the people have lost confidence in the police.
Proceed? Because they have to have a baseline, and this is their baseline, what is reported to them. How should they proceed to deal with the matters?
Well, they themselves must have a very positive attitude towards these actions and these crimes that are being committed. because some of us, or some of them, rather, are being nonchalant when these reports are made.
Coming in.
I have seen it, and I have heard it being said to persons who suffer from criminal elements and from crimes, being told, this is what I have heard myself, being told by a police officer, if you see the man again, come call us. No, it's when a report is made to a policeman, he is to spare no ends at all to go and investigate and find this person.
There's been a lot of talk about the transformation of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They say they want to make it a force for good, and some people say it has changed dramatically. Is it a better force now than when you were there?
Sorry to ask you, give me one instance where it has changed better.
The people say they don't have as many shootings by police, abuses by the police in lockup and other places.
I would interpret it that the police, by not acting, have allowed more crimes and murders to take place by becoming nonchalant, passive. You don't see anything, you don't hear anything, you don't do anything.
What's your assessment?
That appears to the general public out there. You don't see the police arresting.
Yeah.
You don't see the police handcuffing. I don't see anybody.
Do you blame General Anderson for this? Is he
no, I said it's no, not at all. The police force is being dictated to through the government by international organizations. They are told what kind of commissioner must be appointed. And I want anybody to call CVM tonight and tell us that I am not speaking the truth.
Yes, but are you happy with General Anderson as commissioner?
I am happy with people who perform and get results, and your objectives that are put out and given for you to be done, that you do it vigorously and within the ambit of the law.
Senior Superintendent, thanks so much for joining us.